Ladies and gentlemen, my namesake, the Joshua Tree. What's up, everybody? It's Josh, and welcome to the Adventure Diaries. Well, it's 2021. We're on our first adventure. We are just outside of Mesquite, Nevada, checking out Butte National Monument. I don't really know a whole lot about this place. I'm really excited to find out what it has in store for us. So let's get out there and find out what there is. Butte National Monument is one of the U.S.'s newest national monuments. It was established December 28, 2016. It is 300,000 acres of desert wonderland waiting to be explored. Our first stop is Whitney Pocket. Whitney Pocket is the primary staging area and, dare I say, the main camping area for this developing national monument. It was originally the base camp for the Civilian Conservation Corps. Their main task was to make improvements to the area to help out local ranchers. Not much is left of this camp. All that remains is an old storage room built into the hillside. Sadly, some careless visitors tore down one of the walls to use as part of their fire pit. On the other side of the Conservation Corps camp is a short hike up this little path that leads to one of my favorite things we encountered on this trip: the cistern. During the Great Depression of the 1930s, the U.S. government established the Civilian Conservation Corps to help men that were out of work and down on their luck, to supply their families with food and money that they greatly needed to survive. One of the main principles for the CCC was to develop rural areas for their natural resources. These lands were usually owned by the federal, state, or local government. Here in Butte, they built these dams to supply water for the cattle of local ranchers. This particular cistern used the natural landscape to fill itself. As it rained, the water would flow down the slopes of the surrounding hills, filling the basin with life-saving water. I'll tell you this, I would hire these guys any day to build me something. Anything, really. I'm no expert, but to me, it seemed like the builders took pride in their craftsmanship. This dam is around 90 years old, and it looks like it was built yesterday. Really cool structure. If there's one thing for me to complain about, it's these stairs. What were they thinking? I guess they did the best they could with what they had. That's alright though. Time to head out to our next stop. We are currently on our way to the 7 keyholes. We are walking down this really beautiful canyon. And up here just a little bit of ways is the panel of petroglyphs. Kinda excited to see that. And my excitement didn't go unrewarded. I am always in awe when it comes to petroglyphs. What do they mean? I would surely love to know the answer to that mystery. So right behind me, right here, is this entrance to the 7 keyholes. I know it doesn't look like much, but it's a little slug canyon that's kind of carved out down the bottom. It kind of gives it that key shape. So let's go inside and see what's in there. It's about a quarter of a mile hike from the parking lot to the entrance of the canyon. It's not too difficult. For the most part, the terrain is pretty flat. The worst part is the initial descent from the parking lot to the lower floor. Down isn't bad, it's the climb back up that's the killer. We have seen some cool things while exploring Gold Butte National Monument. For me, the 7 keyholes was definitely the highlight of the entire trip. Recently, I've really gotten a kick out of exploring slot canyons. The 7 keyholes isn't the longest one I've been in. It's actually fairly short of a walk to the end, but it's one of the neatest. I do have to admit that I misspoke earlier. As I was doing a little more research, I came to find out that the 7 keyholes is not a true slot canyon, at least not geologically speaking. A slot canyon is formed by fast-moving water, eroding away the rock, creating a narrow canyon over a long period of time. 7 keyholes, on the other hand, is a fractured joint between 2 large rock masses. I have no idea what forces help to define its distinctive shape though. Not even the experts can agree on how it was formed. Many of them believe that water had nothing to do with its formation, as there's no evidence to support that type of erosion. I guess until they agree on something, my guess is as good as yours. The geology of the canyon is only one part of the story that makes it unique. Another part is a little more human. If you remember my excitement from before, then it shouldn't surprise you that I was blown away by what we found inside. There are petroglyphs of every shape and size carved all over the walls of the canyon. In all my adventures, I can't recall seeing anything like this before. It really makes you think of the people that called this area home. These petroglyphs are thousands of years old, created by ancient peoples and considered sacred by many Native American tribes today. Please treat them with the same care and respect that you would show something you find sacred. Well, I think we reached the end of 7 keyholes, but I don't know for sure. We're going to keep exploring to see what's out there, but behind me, there's a really awesome panel of petroglyphs. So, definitely worth it. Our next stop is the furthest point in Gold Butte. So behind me is what was left of the old Gold Butte Township. There's really not much left, but still kind of a cool place to see. Back in 1906, when gold was discovered, this area would have looked completely different. Saloons, hotels, brothels, everything that a gold miner could want could be found in Gold Butte. At its prominence, the town was home to around 2,000 citizens. Like many boom towns of the era, the mines dried up. By the 1910s, everything had left, even the post office. Seriously, they moved it to another town. Now, all that remains are some old equipment, the graves of the last 2 citizens, and an old mine shaft. A sad end to a once booming town. With the sun beginning to set, we had to beeline it if we were going to make it to our final destination before nightfall. The Devil's Throat. In the early 1900s, a cavern collapsed, creating a small sinkhole, but its hunger could not be quenched. Over the next century, the maw continued to devour the surrounding area, till it reached its current size of about 100 feet wide and 125 feet deep. Who knows how big it will get? Only time will tell. The sun has set on this adventure. There's still a lot of places left to explore in Gold Butte National Monument. I guess that gives us a reason to come back. Until next time, thanks for stopping by, and remember, sometimes you have to get lost to find yourself.